Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Flex and Reflect Sunday Sit Down. This is a weekly video series where I sit down and I answer the questions that have been asked through the week, either from clients or have been sent in from around the world. So, got them here on my iPad. So, let's get stuck into it. If I only have 20 minutes to train, what's the smartest way to use that time for real results? Well, that's a good question. One of the assumptions about myself is that I must train for hours and hours every day. And people are really surprised when I say I do three strength sessions a week. I try and aim for around 45 minutes, maybe like 45 minutes, maybe of working for your workout, do warm up. I normally warm up with like resistance band exercises and so forth. Yeah, by the time I'm, wind down, all that kind of stuff. So 45 minutes to an hour max, and I do it three times a week. The actual working time is probably closer to maybe 40 minutes in time. So then when I create home programs for people, uh, most of the people that are working with me have never stepped into a gym before, don't like the gym scene, don't want to go and do that. It can be intimidating. And if you've ever been into a gym, I'm sure that you can relate to that. Um, so what I do with people, this is just with no equipment, just at home, body weighted exercise. I say, let's work on a 10-minute workout. And that can be two or three times of, normally I do about four, maybe five exercises, going from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And then we repeat that two to three times. And that can take 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max. So I think the mindset is good because what we want to be able to do is just get you into the habit of doing some strength training. Everybody on the planet should be doing strength training. So if it's only going to be 20 minutes, then fantastic. Focus on the habit, focus on good technique and the right exercises. We want to get the biggest bang for your buck. So I wouldn't say, okay, let's go and do a 20-minute workout for arms, for instance, because we can work the front of the arm, the back of the arm, biceps and triceps, but that's not going to give you the biggest bang for your buck if you're only going to do that a few times a week. Why do I only work out three times a week? Well, part of it is I'm creating a lot of stimulus in those workouts. I'm pushing myself really hard, and I need more time to recover in between workouts. So normally, if people are doing way more than that, then I find that they're under either overtraining, under eating, under recovering. That's normally what's happening. So they're not really optimizing their results. Does that mean you shouldn't go to the gym more? Well, I think there are multiple reasons to go. Mental health is a really important one, and strength training and doing a bit of cardio can also help that. For me personally, I do three strength sessions. I get out and I go for a walk every day as well. Try and do it outside, whether weather is permitting, because I think it's just good to be out there and it's good for mental health as well as just letting things go, feeling nature and all that kind of stuff as well. So coming back to 20 minutes, I would be focusing on, now obviously in what I'm about to say, this ignores technique because some of these moves require very, very focused technique. Um, what I normally would get people to do is say do an ab exercise first. I would then, let's say you're doing it in a gym. I do say some crunches. I'd be doing like bench press. I'd be doing things like legs. So whether that be squats or leg press or things like that. And then I would be doing something like deadlifts. And I'd probably be doing something for upper back, maybe some like pull downs or pull ups or things like that. That would be in a perfect sort of scenario. 20 minutes, you'd be able to do those at least through two times, possibly three, but most likely two. If you're going to just do a program at home, I'd normally say do again an ab exercise. I would do things like push ups. I do squats, just body weighted squats to start with. I would do something like back extensions. You can go and Google what those are. And that's four exercises. You could do those through three times. I do one, go straight to the next, to the next, to the next without turning it into a cardio workout, and then go back and do it again another time, go all the way through, come back to the start again, do it again. That would be where I would put my focus. If you are just getting started out, then uh, I just teach people how to progressively overload with body weighted exercises before you then get down the track. So you could be like pausing longer. So, like for a push up, for instance, so obviously you're locking out your arms like this. I get people to come down, pause for maybe a second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, push back up. Okay, so not doing this type of motion, but nice and steady. Pause, come back up. Same with the squats. Come down, pause, hold, push back up through the heels. Right. So there are many different ways that you can overload it. So that's what I would do. I'd be focusing on the big muscles, right? The big muscles. Okay. And so again, okay, let me go back to this again. So back to the gym. I'd forget abs, okay, if you're thinking about 20 minutes, because with the exercises we're going to do over time, you are using your core. So I would focus on bench press, squat, deadlift, maybe pull-ups, things like that. Lat pull downs. They would be the ones that I'd focus on, but you need to get your technique right. All right, next question. What's a healthy habit that's actually holding most people back? All right. Probably the biggest one here has got to do with calories, right? People have been focused on calories for years, and if they want to lose weight, then they think, oh, I've got to cut calories, got to cut calories, got to cut calories. Now, a lot of people, when they come to me, they're normally under eating. So they're if they are eating through the day, maybe they're eating once, maybe twice, but they're really under eating. It slows the metabolism down and it can have a dramatic impact. So often to lose, say, body fat, I need to get people to eat more and more calories, but also more volume of food and more frequently as well, getting up to those 6 meals a day. So for me, it's this whole thing around calories, and people get confused about it, and they think they're being healthy by cutting their calories down. And over exercising is another one. Doing over with the cardio, and then the body kind of gets stuck in this starvation mode, under eating, burning excess calories, and people think, oh well, I need to create this caloric deficit, and the greater the deficit, the faster the results. That will work up to a point before your body says, oh, you're really not nourishing me enough, so I got to stay where I am right now, and everything that you do eat, I'm going to hold on to because I know that you're going to starve me. So that's probably the biggest thing that's holding someone back. And unfortunately, with the era we live in, with like so much on social media that you see, and just because somebody might look a certain way, and then they say, "Oh, this is what I'm eating for a whole day," think, "Oh, well, I should eat that too," but that doesn't take into account. It's not tailored for you and your circumstances. You don't know how much is real in what it is that they're saying. You don't know the full story of what it is that they're doing. And so it doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy, right? So you've got to be really, really careful with this stuff. You really do. Okay. What's one lesson lifting weights taught you that completely changed your approach to life? I would say that when I started, and those of you who've been listening for a while or listening to my podcasts, you'll hear me talk about this from time to time. But when I first started lifting weights back in 1988, it was around powerlifting, bodybuilding to change my body. I wanted to put on 10 kilos. I only weighed like 50 kilos. Probably naked, I'd probably weigh 48 kilos. And I wanted to just change my body completely. I wanted to get bigger and I wanted to get more confidence in what it was that how I saw myself. In that process, I realized that the lifting weights was kind of the key to unlocking the door. But when I went into the room, if you like, through that virtual door, I realized that it had nothing to do with the weights and it was all about what I thought about myself, how I saw myself. And this helped me uncover that and start to see myself as a different person. And where I am now in my life, all the strength training and everything and the focus that I put on my health is what I call my foundation. It's the foundation which is really, really strong. So everything I build above that can be great, and I know that it's not going to fall down. And a big part of it is to do with my own self-image, my self-confidence, which I've been building for decades to get to where I am now. And I think the lifting the weights just provided that, like I say, that key to that door that unlocked it to make me realize that it was how I was viewing myself. And I was probably looking for some external validation when really it needed to be internal and come from me, the inside outwards. And I think the weightlifting just taught me how to think about myself differently. So it's a beautiful gift. And then it's also made me realize that if you like the doing your workouts and everything is a metaphor for life. And in order to get the body and health that you want, you got to train consistently. You've got to eat food, healthy food every single day. You've got to take supplements, drink the right amount of water. You've got to sleep the right amount. You've got to continuously grow and do all of these different things. And if you think about any element of your life that you want to be successful in, if you want to be the best at it and the best version of you at that, you have to do the same things like you do with your workouts. You can't just work out one time and say, oh, well, let's just see. You've got to do it consistently. And there are certain things you have to do every single day. And it may not be working out every day, but you should be moving every day. I walk and do those things every day. So I do love how lifting weights has taught me about that as well. And in order to be successful at it, I've got to be consistent and keep pushing myself. So it's a good question. All right. Two more questions to go. What's the one mindset shift that separates people who transform their bodies for life from those who constantly start over? Well, I often talk about how we really want to create these lifestyle habits. And like I just said in the previous question, with the consistency, what are those things that I can consistently do every day for the rest of my life? What are those things that are going to empower me? Not something, all right, what can I do for a month and then I'm going to change it? It's like, what can I do every single day? So I love my life. I love my training. I love food. I love sleep. I love continuously growing. I love all of those things. And so for me, probably one of the mindset shifts is don't settle. Right on my watch right here. Let me see if I can bring it up to show you. Let me see if I can see if it shows up. Where's the camera? It says, hang on, let me press it again. Become greater, right? That is my reminder to don't become complacent. Every single day, multiple times a day, I have to look at the watch to see what the time is, start a timer for a client or whatever, and say, become greater. Don't settle. You might be great now, fantastic, but don't settle on that. Become greater every day. And for me, that's a major mindset shift. It shifts from complacency to always growth. How do I get better? You know, that graph that keeps going up. We're here, but we want to keep growing, keep going, keep learning, keep becoming a better person, a better human. Uh, uh, Doubling down on your health as at any age really, but certainly as you get older, I think I'm probably tripling down on my health because I have a poor family tree of health. So I want to make sure that I'm continuing to live my best life. And so I think for me, that's probably the biggest one. Uh, just don't settle. Always become greater. Always look to what can I do today to make it better than yesterday and just keep on moving. There might be small improvements, but they all matter and add up in the end. Okay, if you could remove one modern invention to improve people's health overnight, what would it be and why? Well, obviously, I've been campaigning for the change in social media and everything, which is, I think, been very significant in having a detrimental impact on our kids, but also adults. So I do believe, look, I can see the pluses in these platforms enabling us to be in touch with people from around the world and everything. But I think from a mental health perspective, we've never been living in a time where it has been worse. And so I think probably if things like these social media platforms did not exist, then I think we would all probably be better off. We would be less judgmental. There'd be less hate in the world, and finding another way to be able to communicate with people and just do things differently. So I think that's probably one. I think there's also an aspect around um, like food delivery services, for instance. I mean, they haven't always existed, obviously, but I think it's now so easy that, like on your phone, you can press an app and the food's all bang. Oh, look, there's a knock on the door and here comes the food. overpaying for things. People are eating less nourishing food, and it's creating these lifestyle habits. These modern lifestyle habits are causing more cancer in young people than ever before because people just are not getting the nutrients they need into their body. So I think a couple of those things. So one's the direct impact on your overall health of the food that you're consuming or poor quality food. And the other one would be what's happening with our mental health through some of these social media apps. If we could remove those or find better ways for people to manage them, I think that would be fantastic. But the problem is these things are just getting worse and worse, right? And so I think um, like even with AI, I mean, AI is helping me become a way better person, but there are people out there that are probably finding that then they're underutilizing it and not using it in the right type of way, and it's not helping them. Just like they're like your social media, which I am on for my business and to stay in touch with people and connected from around the world. I use it from that perspective. But honestly, if I didn't have a business, I probably wouldn't use it. The like Uber Eats and everything. I've never actually ordered anything on Uber Eats, nothing. So it's available. I just choose not to use it because I want to choose healthier food and it doesn't support my wealth creation goals either because it's so expensive to get stuff on there where I could make maybe 8 meals for the price of one if depending on what it is that I ordered. So, you know. I think that would be one. Whiskers, my cat, and clearly he wants to go out. So that's actually all the questions for today. So thanks so much for all of those. If you want a free consult with me, click on the link below, studiospt.com.au. If you want to send in questions there, you can. I work with people all around the world, so feel free to reach out and see you can tell me about what it is that you want to achieve, where you are, how we can help map out a program to get you there. I do work with people differently to the way a lot of people do in the health and wellness space and fitness space. I like to help people achieve their life strategies, and I do that through health. I do well, like your workouts, your food, um, your mindset, and the main one, accountability, and we come up with the right program to help you get there as fast as possible. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.